Good morning students. Let us continue with the ninth chapter. Last part of the chapter we are going to discuss. What are the safety precautions you have to take in case of household wiring? There are two major dangers that can happen with electricity. One is electric fire, second one is electric shock. You might have heard some shops, some houses caught fire because of the electric short circuit. So major accidents that can happen with electricity is electric fire and electric shock. Let us see in which situations electric fire happens. Mainly due to short circuit it happens. Meaning of short circuit is the live and neutral wires are directly coming in contact. In most of the diagrams which I made earlier, between the live and neutral wire some resistance is getting included. It may be filament of the bulb, it can be heating coil of the heater. Some resistance should come between the live and neutral wire. That is a proper circuit. Imagine live and neutral wires are getting connected directly. Then we call it a short circuit. Sometimes due to the thin insulation of the wire, the insulation may get broken, and the live and neutral wires are not kept very apart. They are twisted in the electric circuit, electric wiring. You can see these live and neutral wires are kept very close. In some cases these wires are twisted also. So if the insulation, plastic insulation is very thin, it may get wear off due to long time use, or it may break due to poor quality, and the metal wires, metal parts of the live wire and neutral wire, if it comes directly in touch with, we call it as short circuit. In that case, resistance of the circuit is not there, or it is very less, thereby current value rises, I value rises all on a sudden. In a circuit, proper circuit, a resistance is included, so the current will be in controlled manner. If there is no resistance or negligible resistance in a circuit, and the live and neutral wires are, getting direct contact, which we call as short circuit, in that case current rises all on a sudden due to low resistance, and thereby large amount of heat will be produced. The formula for heat is H is equal to I square RT. Large amount of heat will be produced and it causes fire. So short circuit is one reason for fire, and it happens due to the lack of or due to carelessness. We have to choose proper wires also, having good quality insulation plus proper current rating. Wire, when we choose a wire, you have to be very careful for circuits like for the circuits like bulb, circuit, fan and all, current rating comes within 5 ampere. The current required or safe current for such devices comes below 5 ampere. And for heating appliances like heater, electric iron, geyser, oven and all, its current rating goes more than 10 ampere. So you can't use same type of wires. For 5 ampere current you can use thin wire, but for 15 ampere you have to use thick wire, because in 15 ampere current flow more heat will be produced, so that wire must have much thickness to tolerate that current. Through a thin wire, if you send 15 ampere current, surely it will melt because of the overheating. So when we choose the wire, you have to think about the current rating, how much current will flow through that wire. Accordingly you have to choose the wire. Thin wires for small current and thick wires for heavy current. So these are some reasons where short circuit can happen or electric fire can happen. And electric shock, you may get an electric shock if you touch the switches with the wet hands. In previous video it was discussed. And if the insulation of the wire is broken somewhere and you are touching that wire so that your hand or your body comes in touch with the metal part of the wire, then you can get a shock. If no earthing is done and you are using a faulty device without or faulty device not having earthing, you can get a shock. These are some cases in which you can get a shock. In case of fire, one point I left to tell, if loose contact is there, there is chance for electric fire. Loose contact, one example, when you insert a plug into the socket, the pins must be tight inside that cylinders of the socket. If there is some gap between the pin and the cylinder, some small air gap, due to high resistance of air, a large amount of heat will be produced and you may see the sparking due to loose contact. It can cause fire. Then what precautions we can do to avoid the electric fire or electric shock? First one, don't touch the switches with wet hands, and you must have earthing as well as fuse in the circuit. Earthing is as important as fuse. And insulation, you must use good quality wires having proper insulation, and you should maintain it also. You can't use same wire for long years. Surely its insulation will break. All these are the precautions you have to take while using electric or regarding electric wiring at home. Next topic is color coding of the wires. If you open a switchboard, you can see many wires there in different colors. How will you identify which is the live wire, which is neutral, which is earth wire? There are some internationally accepted color codes. And the wire which you see in red color, these are the old color codings, old convention. This is the new one. Okay. So the wire which is seen either in red color or brown color, if it is new house wiring, you will see these colors. Wire which is in brown color is live wire, light blue color wire is neutral, green or yellow wire is earth wire. This is the way to identify. If the house wiring is done earlier, means old one it is, these are the color codes. Red for light, black for neutral and green for earth. And this color coding is helpful in many situations. Listen, suppose the 3-pin plug of your electric iron got damaged. You will replace it. You can get a 3-pin plug from the market. You have to remove the damaged one. After removing the damaged 3-pin plug, you will see 3 color wires. How will you identify which is earth wire, which is neutral, which is live? After identifying that, you can connect it to the plug, because for a plug some cords are there. The thick pin must be connected to earth wire and the pin on the right side for neutral, left side for live. So it is necessary that wire you should identify before connecting to a plug. So in that case, this color coding is helpful. You can identify by seeing the color of the wire. Next is high tension wire. The wire through which heavy current flows must have maximum thickness and also must have facility to dissipate the heat produced. High current means more heat will be produced in that wire. So to avoid the melting, it must have maximum thickness. So what is done is, there the thin wires will be twisted, a large number of thin wires will be twisted and made a thick wire, and each wire can be given separate insulation so that heat dissipation becomes easy. Such type of wires we call as high tension wires. It is used for the heavy current flow. Now the chapter got over. We will discuss some numericals from page number 204 and 5. First question from page number 204. A house has a main fuse of 5 ampere rating. 4 bulbs each of 40 watt and a tube light of 40 watt are used simultaneously, how much current is drawn from the supply of 220 volt? You know household circuit is of 220 volt. In a house, 4 bulbs of 40 watt plus 1 tube light of 40 watt. 1 tube light of 40 watt and 4 bulbs of 40 watt power are running simultaneously. You know different devices at home are joined in parallel way. So all these 4 bulbs and 1 tube light, all the 5 will be in parallel way. Symbolically I can show it later. The supply is of 220 volt. 220 volt supply. Suppose these are the 40 watt bulbs. These are the 40 watt bulbs and this is 40 watt tube light. When certain devices are joined in parallel, total power is the sum of individual power. So what is the total power of these 5 devices? You have to add the power of all. 40 plus 40 plus 40 plus 40 plus 40. All are of same power. So total power is 4 into 40 plus 1 into 40. That means 200 watt is the total power. And the fuse used here is of 5 ampere. So total power is 200 watt and the voltage supply here is 220 watt. The fuse connected here is of 5 ampere. So let us see how much current will flow in this circuit, main circuit, if all these devices are functioning together. Means current flowing in this circuit we are going to calculate. For that, use the formula P is equal to V into I. You know the P value and V value. I is equal to P by V. That is P 200 upon V 220. Answer will come approximately 0.91 ampere. Means if all these devices are functioning together, the total current here will be 0.91 ampere. Understood how it is calculated? Find out the total power by adding them. In parallel circuit, power is getting added. So total power here, V here, use the formula P is equal to V into I, you will get the current flow. So current here is 0.91 ampere. So will this fuse blow or not? It will not, because it is of 5 ampere rating. It can tolerate current up to 5 ampere. Up to 5 ampere current, this fuse will not melt. Now second part, how many more tube lights of 40 watt can also be lighted on a day? How many more tube lights of 40 watt you can connect in the circuit having 5 ampere fuse? So how will you find out the number of tube lights? Maximum current that can be tolerated by the fuse is 5 ampere. At present the current is 0.9 ampere. So how much more current this circuit can tolerate? Calculate it first. The current it can be tolerated more is 5 minus 0.91. Maximum tolerance limit is 5 ampere. That is the fuse rating. Present current is 0.91 ampere. So how much more it can tolerate? 4.09. From total current subtract it. This much more current this circuit can tolerate. So with this much current, how many tube lights can be used? So we have to calculate how much is the current for one tube light. Suppose this is the tube light. Its power is given, voltage is given. So you can find out how much current is required for one tube light. Again use the formula P is equal to power of one tube light is 40 and voltage is 220 into I. So I is equal to 40 by 220, 2 by 11. The current required for one tube light is 2 by 11 ampere, and we have remaining current of 4.09 ampere. Therefore, how many tube lights? Number of tube lights is equal to this 4.09, that is the total remaining current, and this is the current for one tube light. So divide it with this number 2 by 11, then you will get the number of tube lights. This is the current remaining, this is the current for one tube light. So you can find out how many more tube lights can be used. Next question from page number 205, second question. An electric motor of 5 kilowatt is to be operated at 220 volt means. Find the current rating of the fuse to be connected to the motor. P and V are given. Power is 2 kilowatt. 2 kilowatt means 2000 watt. And voltage is 220. Voltage supply of the mains is 220. What will be the current flow? Find out I by using the formula T is equal to V into I. Therefore, I is equal to P by V. P 2000 upon 220. Answer will come as 9.09 ampere. Current flow in the circuit will be 9.09 ampere. Then what must be the fuse rating? You must use a fuse of almost 10 ampere. Actually, fuse rating we don't take the exact number. Okay, round off the number. So you must, in that circuit you can have a fuse of 10 ampere. Okay, the chapter got over with this. Learn the chapter, do all the numerical exercise questions, especially sample ICSE questions in your copy. Okay, thank you.